What's up, guys? We're back here on the channel, and today we are starting a brand new series here talking about the drivers that were in the World of Outlaws 2002 PlayStation 2 video game from way back in the day. We're going to be covering every driver's career with the Outlaws that was on that game that is now retired. The only driver that is in that game that is not, I guess, fully retired is Donnie Schatz. He is still going strong. There are a couple of drivers in that game that still do race from time to time. Darren Pittman, Sammy Swindell, some guys like that. But we're still going to be covering them because I would say their times of running full-time in a sprint car are over. So we're going to go down the list and talk about every single driver in that game. And the reason for that is that game, I spent a lot of time playing it with my friends back in the day or by myself. And still sometimes to this day in 2024, me and a couple of buddies will fire up the PlayStation 2 and play this game. Now, I know iRacing is a very big deal, R Factor and all that stuff, but this was the OG, I think. This game, 2002 video game, in my opinion, still holds up today when you play it. It is phenomenal physics. It is so much fun to play, and I think sometimes, I think the physics, in my opinion, might be a little bit better than iRacing, right? The graphics aren't quite there or anything like that. It's an old game. But the way the cars drove were so much fun. And all these drivers, I feel like the drivers that were in this game, a lot of them held records with the Sprint Car Series, whether it was the All-Stars or the Outlaws for a long time. They're all at the top of the leaderboard on some of the stat categories for some of them. And that game, I feel like, kind of promoted them up a little bit. Everybody knows who they are just because of that game. It was so successful. So I feel like we should look at some of these drivers. We're going to do all of them, and it could be kind of fun to see how everybody's career went. So the basis for this, we're going to be looking at all the drivers' full-time World of Outlaws careers. We're not going with the All-Stars. We're not doing times when they weren't with the series or anything like that. So full-time series with the World of Outlaws, and today we're talking about the crowd pleaser, Craig Dollansky. He was from Elk River, Minnesota. And Dollansky was one of my favorite drivers, mainly because of his nickname, the crowd pleaser. I always loved when Johnny Gibson would say that. It was just kind of a unique name, right? You got the People's Champ, Dave Darland, but the crowd pleaser, I feel like, is a nickname I had never heard before and never have heard since, and I loved it. And Craig Dollansky, one of my favorite drivers of all time. So the first year with him was actually in 2001, and in 2001, that was actually when the game, they started getting all the information, the drivers and the tracks and things like that. And so, the game came out in 2002, but all the drivers from 2001 that were full-time with the series were in the game for 2002. Craig Dollansky happened to be his first ever year as a full-time driver with the World of Outlaws. He was driving the Caravan Racing number 7 car, and he had 94 starts. That's where the Outlaws used to be, 94 races, 4 wins, 31 top 5s, and 66 top 10s. He would end up 4th in points in his rookie season with the World of Outlaws. He was not the Rookie of the Year, though, in 2001. I believe it was Jeff Shepard that season, and so Craig Dollansky misses out on Rookie of the Year. 2002, he's back for more, same car, 91 starts, 3 wins, 43 top 5s, 74 top 10s, and he would jump to 3rd in points. So a very, very good start to his Outlaw career as far as the point standings go. And 74 top 10s, that was the most he'd ever had out of any of these years that we're looking at here today. Now, 2003, it's written in red because at one point in time, Craig Dollansky, he had ran the first 25 races of the season with the Outlaws, got into a terrible crash at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I believe had some back issues or something like that. Missed the entire season, came back for the final 3 races at the World Finals. He ended up with 28 starts, 0 wins, 11 top 5s, 21 top 10s, and he was 22nd in the point standings, just still driving for the Caravan 7. 2004 comes back out of the gate strong, 81 starts, 6 wins, 28 top 5s, and 51 top 10s, and once again he was 4th in the point standings with the Outlaws. 2005, a great year for him, 83 races, 4 wins, 28 top 5s, and 53 top 10s, promoting him up to 3rd in the World of Outlaws standings for the second time in his career. Now, 2006, one of his best seasons of his career, 67 starts, 7 wins, 40 top 5s, 56 top 10s, and he ends up 2nd in points, 359 points behind Donnie Schatz. And so he wasn't close to the championship as far as the points go, as far as the number, 359 behind, but he was 2nd, so the best of his career up until this point. Still driving the same car, by the way. 2007, 73 starts, 3 wins, 23 top 5s, 47 top 10s, and slips back to 7th in points. And as you can see, from 2007 to 2010, he was 7th in points every single year. The competition was pretty stiff those couple of years with the Outlaws. Now, 2009, he switches 2008, he switches cars to the Larry Woodward Racing at number 2, was only in that car for 1 season, 52 starts, 7 wins though with a brand new car, 32 top 5s and 44 top 10s. Once again, he was 7th in points, even with 7 wins. In 2009, he has a brief stint in the Casey Kane Racing at number 19 car. He was only in that car for 1 season in 2009 for 60 starts, 3 wins, 21 top 5s, and 41 top 10s. Once again, he was 7th in points. I'm not really sure what happened there. I wasn't obviously in the scene. I wasn't down in the dirt with everybody, and I don't know what happened between these 3 years here where he was switching car owners quite a bit. It's hard to find the stories on things like that as well this time. 2011, he now drives for Todd Queering, the same driver or the same car owner for David Gravel right now in the Big Game Motorsports number 7. His first year out was pretty successful at 68 starts, 4 wins, 18 top 5s, 34 top 10s, and he was 7th in points once again. So these 4 years, you think, okay, maybe Craig Dollansky, he's already been racing since the early 90s, right? Maybe his career is slowing down. He's finished 7th in points 4 years in a row. He's jumping around from car to car. No, he's not done yet. 2011, I should say, 64 starts, 9 wins, the most he's ever had in his career in 1 season, 29 top 5s, 46 top 10s, and he was 5th in points, so jumps back into the top 5. 2012 comes around, and this is, according to the points, I would say, is his best season of his career. Once again, 9 wins with 74 starts, 34 top 5s, 51 top 10s. He's 2nd in points once again. This time he was 2nd in points to Donnie Schatz. 2nd in points, I believe, actually to Jason Myers that year. He was 114 behind, so that was the closest he'd ever been to a World of Outlaws championship. 2nd, 114 behind. Now, I believe it was Myers. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry about this. By the way, all this information coming from thethirdturn.com. 2013 is his final year as a full-time driver with the World of Outlaws, and he has 73 starts, 6 wins, 19 top 5s, 39 top 10s, and he ends up 5th in points, once again driving for Todd Queering, Big Game Motorsports at number 7. So that is the long career there for the Outlaws for Craig Dollansky from 2001 to 2013. Now, some of the accolades for this driver: in 1996, he was the All-Star Circuit of Champions Rookie of the Year. In 2000, he was the World of Outlaws Gum Out Racing Series champion. He had like 8 wins, 22 top 10s, and 30 starts. So he went from the champion as the Gum Out straight to the Outlaws in 01 and was strong right out of the gate. 19 times he made the Knoxville National A main event. He had 14 top 10s at the Knoxville Nationals, and he finished 3rd 4 different times at that race. Now, one thing that's really missing from Craig Dollansky's portfolio or his achievements, he never won a crown jewel, right? He never won the Nationals. He never won the Kings Royal. He never won the National Open. Those are the 3 big races we talk about when it comes to the crown jewel events. You can kind of throw Gold Cup in there as well. He did have a night before the Kings Royal win. He did have a prelim night at the Gold Cup. He had a couple of close calls at those events, but could never break through for one of those crown jewel wins. But that doesn't take away from a great career for Craig Dollansky. He had 11 wins with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. He won the Silver Cup at Lernerville, a 3-time winner at the Ironman 55 at Peevely, Missouri. And 2011, he had the most World of Outlaws wins out of anybody. He was actually tied with, I want to say, Steve Kinzer and Jason Myers that year for the most wins in 2011, which was 9. Now, looking at his overall career with the Outlaws, these numbers are for all the years, not just these ones right here, but from 2013 and on, and from 2001 and before. 1,189 career World of Outlaws starts, 66 career wins, which has him tied for 14th overall with the series. He had 387 top 5s, which is 32% of his races he was in the top 5, and 703 top 10s, putting him at 59%, nearly 60% of the time the crowd pleaser was in the top 10 against the World of Outlaws. So that's all we've got today for Craig Dollansky. I hope you guys enjoyed this video looking at one of the legends of our sport, and we're going to be looking at a lot more guys like this throughout the next couple of days here with High Limit, not racing to April 9th. We're going to do some other videos here and there, I think. But with no High Limit, we're going to do this series. I'm probably not going to get to all the drivers by the time we get back to racing, but we'll get a pretty good handful of them. Hope you guys enjoyed the thumbnail as well. Every time I see that little screen where you pick your driver, it just brings back so many good memories. So going to continue to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one here for this 2002 World of Outlaws video game career video for the drivers in that game. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.